Hey everybody, Betsy here. Thanks so much for joining me. In this video, I'm going to be showcasing all of the new products from our Fall 2025 collection called Hint of Autumn. So like I said in this video, I'll be showing you all of the new products. We have 19 new items coming to the shop, and I'll show you all of these in detail, and we'll also take a look at all of the projects that I put together using these new products. So let's go ahead and get started. The first products I'm going to show you are some of the basics that we have. These are some brand new basics that I think you'll reach for time and time again. First of all, we have a new set of dies called Capsule Basics. This is a super fun take on a classic oval shape. It's a little bit updated oval shape, kind of a modern look with straight sides, more of a capsule shape. That's why it's called Capsule Basics. So double-ended arch. This set is a new size for us. The largest die in the set is just under 5x7. So it's great for those of you who love to make a little bit larger 5x7 cards. But no worries, this set is also great for our standard A2 size cards. This smaller scallop oval in the set is perfectly sized for A2 cards. So it's just under 5.5 inches tall, and then it's about a little over like 3.5, I think, wide. So it's a great size for A2 cards. The larger one, again, great for 5x7 cards. It's just under 5x7. So you can add it to a 5x7 base or make some shaped cards. I'll show you some shaped cards that I made using this set. So there are the two scalloped ovals, and then there's also 4 plain ovals, and so it's a set of 6. We have some coordinating products. A lot of our products from this release are kind of built around this basic die. So there's also some hot foils. This is a set of hot foil borders. Works great with the dies. You can mix and match inner and outer cuts for some really pretty looks. So that allows you to add some shine to your projects. And then we have a stamp set that stamps some borders. It's called Capsule Collection Floral Borders. So there are 2 different 2-step borders that fit on an A2. These are sized for an A2 card, so they coordinate with the smaller scallop. But of course you can use them with the larger scallop oval as well. It's just further in from the outer edge, but of course they all coordinate together. There's 2 different borders, 2 different floral borders. Each one has 2 steps, stamp, and it's half a border each. And so then you can stamp, rotate, and stamp again for the second step to complete the oval frame. I'll put together a video in the coming weeks here showing, giving you some tips for stamping these as well. So there's two different borders. I'll show you, you can stamp them of course onto the Capsule Basics die, but you can also stamp them onto just a plain panel as well. This is an A2 panel, so you can get an idea for sizing there. This is the 2-step, more of a larger floral border. You can cut the inside and outside using the Capsule Basics die, so you can create an open frame, or you can leave them the solid center. This one, I cut the outer edge, but not the inner. And so it makes more of a panel. And this is the other floral border. It's more of an all over kind of a ditzy calico style floral. And as another option, you can omit the flowers on this step too to create even just like almost a third option with no flowers. You can do just the greenery. So that is the Capsule Collection Floral Border Set. Also, I wanted to sneak in a little sneak peek here into this video for those of you that are here joining me for this showcase video. We have one product from the Capsule collection that did not arrive in time for the release, but I will sneak peek it here for you in this video. We'll be releasing a coordinating embossing folder. These are on the way. We're expecting them sometime probably mid-September, so we'll go ahead and release those as soon as they arrive here. But this coordinates beautifully with the Capsule Basics die, and it embosses these pretty borders and also a dotted edge around the scallops. So that's a sneak peek for you. Again, it won't be here in time for the release. It's not included in the bundle collection. We'll release that later when it comes. So just keep an eye out for that, and we'll let you know when it's here. So let's take a look at a few projects that are made with these Capsule Basics dies and also the floral borders. So this is a really simple card. It's a great way to see how you can use the inner and outer cuts of those ovals and also the hot foils. I did the hot foiling around the edges and then die cut that inner from that and popped up a few layers here. Super simple, quick and easy to do. The sentiment here is from the new floral borders stamp set. And I topped it off with this cute little bow, which is from a previously released set called Sweetest Corners. The sentiment again is from the floral borders set, the new one here. Here's another one, uses the largest oval from the Capsule Basics set for a larger 5x7 card. Again, uses the stamped floral borders. These leaf clusters are from another set that I'll be introducing here today too, called Thankful and Blessed. But this with gratitude sentiment is also included in the floral border set. So there's some great little sentiments in there too. This is a shaped card base. I used the Capsule Basics die to cut on the fold and create this shaped base. You can see the pretty foiling around the edges using the hot foil borders. And this one is a fun little pocket card. This one uses the previously released bow bookmark die. I cut this using the Capsule Basics smaller scallop, and I use it to make a little pocket card. So it has this little pull out. And this sentiment is from a set that I'll be introducing shortly here as well, called Thankful and Blessed. I love how you can create these little pocket cards, super easy to put together. I created something similar a while back and did a video using a different set called Sweetest Frames. So you can check that out. Same concept, put together the same way. And then I topped this one off with this pretty die cut floral bouquet, which is a previously released item as well called Best Bouquet Details die. The stamped edges are done with that new floral border stamp set. So up next we have a product suite called Capsule Cameos Autumn, and these pretty scenes were designed to coordinate with the Capsule Basics die. They're like pen and ink sketches kind of look to them, and there's two different scenes, and these can be used independently or you can layer them. So there is also a coordinating die to cut out the scenes. I'll show you in a minute. These scene dies cut just the interior of the scenes, not the outer edge, so it leaves it intact in your panel, giving you lots of different fun options for layering. So these scenes can be layered over the top of each other or used independently. So here it shows where I've layered the two scenes over top of each other. You can see how they show from behind each other, which is kind of a neat look. Lots of fun things you can do with that. We also have a sentiment die available separately, which cuts out all of the different sentiments from the set. This is a 6x8 stamp set. Like I said, it has the two main scenes and then a good selection of sentiments for both fall, Thanksgiving, as well as just everyday occasions, year-round occasions as well, like birthdays, thinking of you and thank yous. There's also a few just little individual clusters that coordinate that you can use to layer even more and fill out some designs and use them as accents. So let's take a look at some projects. This is probably my favorite project from the release. This was done using this Capsule Cameos Autumn set, and I created this little tunnel card, and it has accordion folds which connect all of these panels that layer over the top of each other, and it folds flat so you can put it in an envelope, but then it pops up and actually will stand up as well. I did some no-line watercoloring with this set. I stamped it in a super light gray ink and then die cut it. So that kind of helped me see all of the different details and a little bit clearer because I used a really pale ink. And then I just used my watercolors to add all of the coloring. So it's basically a back panel and then the two scenes and then a front panel, which I added the floral Capsule Basics floral stamp set borders to the front as well, just to kind of add, and I stamped some of those on the accordion folds too, which really I think finishes off really fun. Here is a little set of scene cards that I created. These are shaped. These were cut with the Capsule Basics die with a smaller scalloped oval from that set. And finished off, the fronts were finished off with the floral border stamp set. Just kind of a fun, all year round, great for masculine projects really too as well. I also created these fun pocket cards. This is kind of similar to the smaller one that I showed you just a little bit ago with the florals on the front, but these use the largest oval, plain oval from the Capsule Basics die. And then you can see how I cut the interiors of those scenes out using the Capsule Cameos die and layered those, created these pockets. And then they have these pullouts. So this one has a thankful sentiment on the front, which is from a Thankful and Blessed set, which we're going to take a closer look at here in just a little bit. And those sentiments on the inside are from that as well. And the floral borders is that floral border stamp set that we took a look at earlier in the video. So lots of mix and match possibilities with this release. This one actually holds a gift card. So this little pullout, this is a new set as well that I'll showcase in a little bit, called Oblong octagons. It has a die, a stamp set, and a hot foil. The largest one from that set is a great way to hold a little gift card. So again, I used the bow bookmark die. That's an older or previously released. I think we came out with that this past spring. And so that is a fun way to make a little pullout. Last but not least, using this set, kind of an unexpected use for this Capsule Cameos Autumn set, I thought it would make a really fun baby card. So I stamped one of the scenes in a pale pink ink and then surrounded it with those pretty florals from the Capsule Collection Floral Borders stamp set and topped it off with a sentiment, which is from an older set called Tear Strip Tags Baby. And I added a little bow from our Sweetest Frames set. That's an older one as well, released earlier this year. And you can see some hot foiling around the edge too. That's using that new Capsule Borders hot foil. It's part of this release. So moving on, next up we have a product suite called Thankful and Blessed. And this again is designed to coordinate with our Capsule Basics die in that pretty oval shape. So we have the Stamp and Stencil set, which is a 6x8 stamp set and 3 stencils that all comes together as a combo, and then a coordinating die. And this is a 9-piece die. It cuts mainly the sentiments from the set, but it also cuts out a couple little floral clusters. So the stamps and stencils work together to create this pretty floral border, and it's super easy. There's one stamping step and then 3 steps for the stenciling. And the stencils have the oval etching on them to help you align things, but they're also, you can also just start with a 5x7 panel, lay these up in your MISTI, go ahead and stencil, and then stamp as the last step if you'd like. Super easy to put together. This set has lots of pretty sentiments as well. I love this pretty ampersand. And then there's a couple of small leaf clusters, and this one has some little floral details. So we'll take a look at some projects. Here is one shaped card. This is a 5x7 card using the largest scallop die from the Capsule Basics set. Here you can see those little floral and leaf clusters, which are from the Thankful and Blessed set. And that pretty floral border almost looks like tapestry, like a fabric, print fabric. Sentiments here are from Thankful and Blessed. I heat embossed those and then added those floral clusters. So for this one, I used that large oval floral frame, but on a A2 card. So I trimmed it down to make more of an arch shape, and then finished off the bottom edge with some wood planks, which were cut with the Curio cover die. That's an older die, just a fun way to finish off that bottom edge. And I put in some sentiments from the Thankful and Blessed set and some of those leaf and floral clusters, also from the set. So I thought this set would also be really pretty for things other than fall. And so here I went for a much softer, prettier, more feminine color combo. And I topped it off with a Best Bouquet, which is a previously released set. I've been loving that set. I love the florals in that set, and it's a great size to put in the center as a focal point around that pretty frame. Again, this is a shaped card which was created with the Capsule Basics die. Just cut on the fold, make a shaped base. Super fun. Also have some of the Capsule Borders hot foiling in there. This sentiment is from the Capsule Cameos Autumn set that I introduced a little bit earlier in this video. So up next is probably my favorite product suite from this release. I loved playing with this set. It's called Autumn Herbarium, and it was inspired by vintage botanical prints, which I also love, and they inspire me all of the time. So this set is kind of inspired by that, and it starts off with a stamp and stencil combo. So we have a red rubber stamp, which has all of the veining and details from all of the leaves. And then there are 3 stencils in the set that allow you to add color to the leaves. It's so fun to play around with different blending colors over the top of the panel. Here it's all stamped, so I kind of put it backwards to show you. Super easy. This set is super easy to work with and fun to play around with color combinations. So in addition to the stamp and stencil combo, we have a die. The die allows you to cut out all of the leaves. You can stamp and stencil an entire panel and then go ahead and cut all of them in one go. Get this off of here so I can show you. So you can see, super easy to line up after you have the stamping and stenciling done. I also embossed this panel using the Autumn Herbarium embossing folder, which is also, I just love this. It's been so fun to work with, and it's just beautiful. So here's a panel that I embossed with the embossing folder and then stenciled with the stencils. I didn't even stamp the veins on this one. I just kind of let the embossing folder do the work on this one, but you can use the stamp also as well. So I'll show you a few panels. This one is just embossed onto some burgundy cardstock. And then, for example, here is one. I did these in a whole bunch of colors, but here are some panels that I stamped and heat embossed the veining with gold embossing powder and then ran it through with the embossing folder. So lots of different options here. Here's a few panels that were stamped and then stenciled and then embossed. So you can use all of these or mix and match to create lots of different looks. Just kind of depends on what you want to do. So to round out this product suite, we have a couple of other little products. This is Autumn Herbarium Labels stamp set. It's a little 3x4 set that's filled with all tree and leaf names. And so you can label your little leaf collections. And then this Label It die helps you label them as well. So it cuts all of these little labels and little tiny pins that you can pin your labels to your leaves. So we'll take a look at that. Here is one that I used those little labels. You can see how I stamped the leaf names onto those labels and kind of pinned them. I mean, you can't actually pin them. You do need to use adhesive, but super fun little look. So let's take a look at some projects using Autumn Herbarium. This is probably one of my favorite projects from the release. I created this set of 4 cards using, I showed you these a bit ago. They are stamped, stenciled, and embossed with the embossing folder. So they're so full of texture and color. I had so much fun blending all the different colors using the stencils. So I kind of did a rainbow. I stuck with all greens and then purples, oranges, and reds. And these use also a new sentiment set and a label die that I'll show you in a little bit, but it's called Oblong octagons. It's a great basic that I think I'm going to reach for over and over again. Here is another card. This one I also pulled out the die and I cut all the leaves in so I could make my own arrangement on this card front. I used the little Label It die and the Autumn Herbarium label stamp set to add this border along the bottom and also the labels to the leaves. So the text version, each leaf name comes in both a text version and a script version. So the text version fits on the little labels The script version does not, but those are designed to more be stamped kind of around the leaves. Here's another one. This time I pulled out an older product suite, our Curio collection, which is still one of my favorites. I used the Curio Divider and Details 2 die to create this grid and this little box. The outer edge was done with the Curio cover die, which also has this little latch and the pretty hinges. And I just arranged some of those leaves from the Autumn Herbarium set inside each of those open spaces. And I topped it off with a sentiment, which is from the new Thankful and Blessed set. All of the leaves from the Autumn Herbarium set are great to just tuck in here and there as well. Here's one again. I pulled out an older product called Botanical's Toadstool Garden die, and I made a little toadstool garden. We have a mushroom product suite that I'll show you just in just a little bit here too as part of our new release that had me really wanting to pull out my mushrooms again. They're just such a fun set. And so then you can see there's also some hot foiling in there, which was done with the new Capsule borders hot foil, and then the stamped outer edge here, the pretty border was stamped with the Capsule collection floral set. And then the leaves are all from this new Autumn Herbarium, just tucked in here and there. And I love the dimension with the embossing folder and the color you can add with the stencils. Up next is another great basic we're adding to our lineup with this collection. There's a stamp set called Oblong Octagon Labels. Say that 10 times fast. And this is a little 4x6 set. It has 3 different size octagon labels, frames, and then sentiments for all sorts of everyday occasions. There's a hot foil to add pretty borders around those, and then a coordinating die. So there's 3 sizes. Here you can see where I have foiled and die cut those using the matching die, and all of the sentiments from the stamp set fit inside of those octagons. So up next we have a new floral die called Wild Wetlands, and this is a gorgeous die inspired by all of the fun and interesting things that grow in the wetlands. We have cattails and some little bellflowers. Just super fun. There's a one-piece base die that everything gets built on. And here you can see on the back side of the die, there's an assembly guide that shows you all the different little individual blooms that need to get built, and then everything just gets layered over the base. So that's a 12-piece die. The little bits and pieces that go together to build each of the individual flowers are grouped together. So it makes it a little bit easier so you're not playing around with all little tiny dies floating around. So here's some projects. Here you can see this all assembled and cut from cardstock. I added some shading using colored pencils to just really bring out the different details. I layered it over a Capsule Basics die cut. To add just a little bit more interest around the border, I did stamp just the leaves from that new Thankful and Blessed set. Just really subtle tone on tone. And then the sentiment is also from the Thankful and Blessed set. Here's another one. This one I stuck with blues and greens to really kind of capture the wetland look and feel. I also wanted to fill it out, so I added in some leaves from that Autumn Herbarium set. And then I also embossed the background with the Autumn Herbarium embossing folder. Very textural and really pretty. So for this next one, I again used the Wild Wetlands die, but I went rogue this time and I did not build it according to how it was designed using the base. I kind of just did my own thing. I used the individual blooms and just built my own design, which turned out super fun. I built it onto a shaped base, which was cut using the smaller scallop from the Capsule Basics die. Also got a little hot foiling going on in there for some shine. And this curved sentiment is from the Thankful and Blessed set. I had a lot of fun playing around with this and just creating my own look. I mixed things up a little bit. Some of those bell-shaped flowers I actually used as bases, cut them from green cardstock. These are actually these right here, but instead of using them like this, I used them as a base for those bigger flowers. And I love how that turned out. Just gave them a really different look. Last but not least, we have a 2-piece product suite called Mushroom Meadow. This is a 6-piece stencil which stencils this super fun all over A2 sized design. Really fun to stencil that and watch that come to life. These are the 6 stencils. And then we also have a hot foil. So if you wanted to add a little shimmer and shine to your stencil design, we have a hot foil plate, and you can see how there just adds some spot foiling. So of course I'd want to do the hot foiling first, and then stencil second is going to be the way to go. Here's a panel. You can see how I stenciled and then added, this one I actually did the other way around. I had this panel stenciled and then my hot foil plates showed up, and I'm like, I'm just gonna go for it. It didn't do too bad. I didn't do too bad in lining that up. It's a little off kilter, but I think it kind of adds to the charm. But that was super fun to do. So here's a couple projects using this product suite. Here is one where I foiled onto some taupe cardstock and then went for some really rich autumn colors for the stenciling. Cut it using the Capsule Basics die and did some layering there. Sentiment here is from that new Oblong octagons set. And then finally, here's another one, A2 sized, did some hot foiling. And I also added a pretty leaf from the autumn herbarium set. And again, an oblong octagon label. This outer scallop is from Frosted Frames die. Just a fun way to frame that off. This mushroom meadow set is so fun to play with different color combos. I think you're gonna love playing with that. So that wraps up our product introduction. That's all of the new products that are coming to the shop Wednesday, August 27 at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Everything from our Hint of Autumn collection will go up in the shop, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I will be putting together some how-to videos for some of the projects that I showed in this video today, and so that's kind of on my agenda for the next week or two here. Give me a little time. I'm going to help the warehouse get your orders out ASAP, and then I'll put some videos together and you can get busy creating. So thanks so much for joining me, and I'll see you soon.